In July, Blaithnaid Raleigh was in the studio here describing her horrific experience and her sort of advocacy, I suppose, for victims and survivors of sexual assault and rape. She's a really brave girl who'd had this awful experience and waived her anonymity and spoke out in a very powerful way. Those sort of victims who can find it within themselves to be a voice for others, I'm sure the good they do is extraordinary.
Personal stories, I think, are something that impacts people when they hear it. And we always hear this ourselves. One of the good things that journalism can do is, you know, we hear all the time, for example, about sexual assault rates going up, maybe a bit about, you know, domestic violence, these sort of issues. And some of it is reported as, you know, we heard about an epidemic of domestic violence during COVID, for example. But when people stand up and explain how that impacted on them, it moves people in a whole other way. It's very, very difficult for victims, and for all of the hard-hearted journalists that I know, you know, people are really careful with these stories. Because you understand that this is an ordinary person, not a public figure, who are putting themselves out there. Inevitably, those stories go on the internet and are subject to the same amount of vitriol as everything else. And, you know, so for somebody to do that is really, really, you know, it is genuinely brave, and that's an overused term. But it is the most powerful way to make these stories come alive. And you see that again and again.